If you look cheap, then you attract cheap customers. It's just that simple. I have conversations with business owners almost every single day that want to scale past 1 million, past 2 million, past 5 million, but sometimes I still see a lot of online presences that make people's business look like a fly-by-night operation that's running out of a basement. If a homeowner was to pull up your site or see one of your ads, are they going to get even just a little bit of whiff of sketchy? Because if so, then they're either going to end up being tire kickers, they're going to haggle you, or what happens most of the time is that they're going to end up just going to one of your competitors that looks much more trustworthy. Today, I'm going to tear down real examples of the good versus the bad when it comes down to websites and Facebook ads. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how you should be structuring your ads and your websites so you can build trust instantly. Building trust is the only thing separating you from being able to charge premium prices and scale your business. So let's get into it. Real quick, before we get any further, I just want to show you guys that I at least know a little bit of what I'm talking about. So just in the last 2 years or so, my agency has logged over 125,000 conversions, and we primarily serve the home service industry. So this 125,000 conversions is made up of inbound phone calls and form fill outs, as well as we also have some clients where they're not in our manager account, but they've just added our email to it. So we operate on that side. So as you can see here, this is just an example of one client that spent almost $60,000 in a local service area just in the last couple months. And we were getting conversions for $108 at scale of spending, 20,000 plus a month here. So that's just a quick snapshot of me, just to show you guys that I know a little bit of what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and take a look at some website examples here to start off with. The biggest thing that we're looking for is we want, clean call to actions, clean information, a good, video or, image header, ideally good lead capture, right? A form or some place that we can get information quickly. That's ideally above the fold. Having a phone number at the top right is good. And then overall, this no BS. I don't want to see any stock photos, especially you guys are home service businesses. You're going into people's homes. They want to know who is going into your house. Okay. Especially if you're not going to be there and maybe you have your lady or your wife that's at home. You really want to know that you can trust the person who's going to be in your backyard. I've heard stories of people that have had stuff stolen from their house from, home service businesses. Because of this whole trust problem here. So let's not be those companies. So let's take a look here. If I was gonna call a locksmith company, I'm not gonna lie, it would not be this company. I'm sorry if you own any of these companies that I show. I'm just, finding examples online. So hopefully you can use this as, constructive criticism to, I guess, establish a little bit more trust online. So all AI photos. So I have no idea what the person looks like that's coming to my house. I have no idea. They could just show up in an unmarked van and knock on my door, and I could be like, maybe never mind. Like, this is sketchy. So they're clearly, not showing anything real, which is definitely a little bit alarming. The information here is just laid out kind of like crap. Oh, wow. You can't even actually click on these. Okay. So there's no way to even actually contact these people unless you're on your phone or you pull out your phone and you just write this down. So that's pretty poor capture. And these guys are running Google ads, which is kind of crazy. So not very trustworthy. We're kind of just going to fly through these. A lot of them are pretty similar. Let's take a look at the next one here. Real quick, if you run a local service business that does at least $1 million a year and you want to offload your marketing so you can grow your business, we can help. From website management to Google ad campaigns to Facebook ads to Google My Business profile optimizing, or even if you don't even know what you need, we can help with that too. We've managed over $20 million in ad spend and worked with over 150 business owners just like yourself. Click the first link in the description, go to our contact page, fill out the quick form, and someone from Eberhard Media will personally call you on the phone to verify your details and book a time on the calendar so we can talk and learn about how we can help. Okay, so these guys at least have an actual header image. The pixel quality on this house isn't very high. Garage door repair and all just, I guess big letters, doesn't look great. They just have a ton of stock photos here. This is stock. This is stock. Wow, that's great. Wow, not a very great display of information here either. And this doesn't look very good. So again, I just have no idea who's coming to my house. There's no way for them to really capture any leads besides this phone number here, which is in the God spot. So the phone number at the top right is always good. But even the fact that this doesn't have any of the parentheses or the dashes in between the phone numbers just kind of just looks like a mouthful. So not super impressed here either. Like, this just looks like a template BS website. It's not giving me very much trust. If I go to Think Green AZ, this website looks good. So they don't have any photos or videos of, actual people on their crew, but I can just tell that all the stuff that they have here, all these images and videos, I believe that they're real. I really do. I think this all looks really good. I can tell by the, like that's Camelback Mountain. I believe that's Camelback Mountain as well. And I can just tell by these backyards that these are real Arizona homes, and this doesn't look, too far out of reach of what they probably do. I'm sure this company is very large. What I just don't like is that there's not a very great lead capture here. We got to click on this. Oh wow. Okay, this page is not amazing. But I'm certain that they still crush it. All this here just kind of looks like a wow. This is kind of an eyesore. There's just a lot going on here. I think again the biggest thing if they just fix their lead capture a little bit, phone number up here, lead form here, used maybe some more real videos and photos of people working, I think this would help them even more. But again, I'm sure this company makes a lot of money. You don't definitely don't need to be perfect to make a good amount of money in this world in the online space. I'm sure they crush it. But just some things here that I saw. But the biggest thing here is that I know that they do good work, and I can see that. So a company that delivers this quality of work, I am pretty confident and comfortable with the kind of people that would be coming to my house and the kind of people actually doing the work. So that's good. Oh yeah, I was looking at this one earlier. So system pavers, there's just not really much here. Um, Lock in 2024 pricing for my okay, that's kind of cool. And I see they have a lot of different locations here, so that gives me a little bit of like comfortability going, okay, so these guys are like almost nationwide, so they must do really good work. But they're kind of just leveraging their name and they're kind of removing everything else from it, just assuming that people are going to, reach out because they've just, I guess, done so much work. Like this looks like a stock image. These kind of look like stock images. I don't really know. Those aren't really real. But again, this company just has so much trust that they're kind of just relying on that. But I think that's kind of a bad excuse. Get started at the top right is schedule an appointment. Yeah, that's a lot of information. Like without really seeing any work that honestly looks that real, I probably wouldn't just go ahead and fill out this information. But there's a reason why they crush it. But this is just if someone was, just to go ahead and look at their website. This is kind of what I'm seeing right here. But this just makes me feel like that the work they do is probably pretty just generic, which might not be exactly what I am looking for. But overall, I'm sure they crush it. Next company here is Arizona Hardscapes. What I do like here is above the fold here. So just looking at anything you can see within, just opening the website is called above the fold. I do like these interactive above the folds that kind of show, pavers, artificial grass, travertine. These all look good. I love the opacity, right? So they put like a little green film over their video, so then you can read this white text really good, which I think looks nice. I don't really know why they have the socials here when they also have them here. They should be using this space to capture information, as well as they should make this phone number bigger and make it over here a little bit. Overall, still pretty good. I can tell that that these pictures of work are real. They've got good reviews. All these reviews are 2 years old, which is kind of a little bit sketchy. I would kind of wonder about like the actual company itself. And one thing I didn't really love is that this is all just one page. So this is just kind of like a lander. I think they could do a lot better at capturing information here. But again, that's just my 2 cents. Looking in here again, another garage door company. They should have the phone number here. It should be at the top right. This header doesn't. This header does have an opacity layer on it, so you can read the white text, but this doesn't really look that great using an emoji. I don't really know if that's a real photo. If it is, it kind of looks a little a little sketchy, I guess. Just a lot of information here. Yeah, these are all just stock images. So that makes me feel like this one isn't real. Again, not really sure who's coming to my house exactly. And okay, we see some Google reviews here, 2021, 2023, 2020. Yeah, again, this would just make me kind of a little bit hesitant for them to reach out. But again, they're just kind of missing, the big point on a lot of those elements here. Um, okay, interesting. Just cut off here, use the same image. This is a stock photo. This looks like crap. Anyways, I'm sure again all these companies still do really good, but let's go ahead and take a look at Parker and Sons. And you might be thinking, okay, Johnny, but Parker and Sons are absolutely massive. Well, there's a reason why they're absolutely massive. And even though honestly, this website kind of looks like an eyesore, there's too many colors, there's so much going on. This right now gives me so much more trust than anything we looked at. And again, there's a reason why these guys crush it. I see real trucks. I see people with the uniform on. I see, okay, here's a family. Here's a local family that they helped, beat the heat. They just use a lot of real stuff. Like, okay, this is kind of funny. And, obviously we've seen these trucks, but if you're in a local area like Arizona and you're looking for an Arizona company and you see the trucks, you might go, oh, wow, wait, we've actually seen those. Or we've seen them down the block. Our neighbors were getting their work done. That alone, if you can connect that, oh, someone else I know has had work done by these people because I recognize the vehicle, that is a huge sign of trust. This is like almost a non-direct referral. So now I'm using my neighbor's work as instant familiarity, even though I've never even actually seen it. But I'm like, okay, like people use them, people trust them. Awesome. That's really cool. Let's just take a look here. Some reviews, not showing any dates or anything, but again, they're still doing, a good job of capturing leads. Let's see what schedule appointment does for me. Whoops. Okay. Okay, nice. So one at a time. So these other forms too, everything is just laid out. This is one at a time. Like this makes it really easy. Okay, I can type in my zip code, kind of get going here. Cool. Call representative. Again, they have the phone number here towards the top right. Real pictures overall. Again, this website could do a better job at being like more visually digestible, but this really has all the information that I need. I'm sure it has a really good SEO score, and they crush it, and there's a reason. So this is, again, as we all just look through all these websites together. Having trucks and having people in there is just a huge, huge difference. So definitely just think about doing that when you're making websites. So again, this is an example of great. Some of these other examples are, of course, not so great. So the good and the bad, take what you can, look at good websites. And when you see a good website, you'll know it's a good website. So all you have to do is, start to mimic some of those things. And again, it's always going to be a good looking, header, video, or photo. Phone number top right, pictures and videos of real work. And ideally, if you can get pictures and videos of, real employees or your real trucks, all this is going to help bridge that gap to trust, because now these people are real and they look nice, they look friendly. These are the people that I would call, hands down. So now that we've looked at websites, let's go ahead and take a look at some Facebook ads here. So I went ahead and just typed in hardscaping. And let's just see what we have here. Let's just wow, this is an ad. Landscaping, hardscaping lot, call for an estimate. Just a bunch of trucks in the dark. That's probably not a very high performing ad. They've been running it for a long time, but I run a lot of ads, and I know that probably isn't super amazing. These ones right here are good. These are all like Canva looking images. Those are like okay. Probably don't give a super great ROI. Something that's super simple that probably does really good is just stuff like this. Okay. Oops. Whoops. Did not mean to click on that. Let's take a look at their website. Actually, you know what? Why not? While it's loading. But as you can see here, just quick examples of just stuff that, God dang it, that stuff that they've done here looks pretty good, which I like. Stuff like this, hate weeds, like that's not really that great. Ooh, a video. Okay, this looks pretty good. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's a voiceover. But like this looks good. Wow, and a picture of the truck, workers, nice house that they're working on. See, now that's a good ad. That's what we need here. So let's take a look at these guys. I'll let you guys be the judge, but we know everything we've talked about. Probably wouldn't show the bad reviews on the website, and this kind of looks funky. But I bet you this company right here running good ads, oh, not on Facebook, but this company right here running good ads probably has a good website. Wow, their call to action doesn't even work. That is incredible. Let's go ahead and just take a look here. Not great. Overall, see, now this is what I'm talking about. See, this is almost what their ads look like, but like, holy smokes. You're going to tell me that you don't trust this? I physically see workers doing the job right now. I can physically see their faces and what they look like and who they are. Wow, this looks really good. See, like something this simple, I think just goes a long, long way. Everyone is like hidden and behind the scenes, so no one knows who they're going to end up seeing or who's going to be at their door or who they can trust. Putting a face to the name here is great. Ooh, these service pages aren't amazing, but again, we're past the sites. But let's just look at good ads. That's a great ad. This text here is kind of interesting. Multiple exclamation marks. Okay, we got it. But just overall showing your work is just a really good way to get good inquiries as well. Like this stuff isn't really that good. Let's take a look at this. Okay, maybe not too bad, not too bad. Okay, these like transformations are good. These ones kind of look like business cards, but I'm sure they might do okay, especially with older folks. But the ad here, let's take a look at this one. We have a person here.
If you've got big dreams,
wow,
outdoor and backyard space, this is the place.
Okay, not bad. Some real people actually, which is good. Some more Canva looking stuff. But overall, I'm sure you guys are able just to even take a look here and tell me what looks like a good ad. This doesn't look like a good ad. Oh, this is a marketing agency, of course. But just taking a look here, you can see what looks like good ads. Again, it's having the clear call to action, showing the real results, showing physical people here. Like we just keep looking through more ads, and I'm not seeing anything that's any better than that one video that we saw here. So, wow.
You're from Oswego and surrounding South. Thinking of upgrading your backyard for next spring. Now's the time to start planning.
See, not too bad. Not too bad. We have the owner speaking. That's okay. Some of this stuff looks okay, but again, there's probably going to be bringing in cheap leads. These are okay.
I don't understand why
Okay, some of these videos are really loud. Anyways, long story short, guys, stop convincing people that you're good, but show them that you are good. Get rid of the stock photos, put a face to the brand, and be specific about your location, who you serve, and where you serve. If you fix these trust signals, you stop competing on price, and now you can finally start competing on value, which is one of the best ways to scale your company long term, is to get out of the area of people thinking you're a commodity and being able to get the maximum amount of profit by delivering a good service. So if you're a local home service business that's doing at least $1 million a year and you want my team to either help with your website or, even just take a look at, your trust factor on your ads, your website, or maybe you just want some insight on ads, or maybe you want someone to run your ads. But whatever it is, if you want help dominating online and improving your marketing, then go to the first link in the description. Someone from my team will call you today, and we would love to set up a call. So if you're a local home service business doing at least $1 million a year and you want help scaling and bringing that trust factor online into your ads and your website so you can stop competing on that price, then fill out the first link in the description. Someone from Eberhard Media will call you today and book a call, and we would love to help you. Thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next video.